Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. This is a bonus topic. I was not planning to cover this, but we touched base little bit, but we had to rush it through. So I thought I'll cover this in length today. And one of the most practical application that is covered in Bhagavad Gita in terms of current day-to-day things. One is this topic, and one is the topic which I'll cover next time. these two topics are one of the most you can say important topics. Obviously, the third one is the most important that we completed. Okay, so we'll start with the quiz. Okay.
Once upon a time.
Okay. We'll go to the next one. Okay. So, what was the fourth? Who is the fourth wife? Well. Okay. So, fourth wife, what he said is he was taking a lot of care for that fourth wife. Correct? So, okay. One is well. What do you think?
It says here, you cannot take it with you.
Who said something? Yeah, no, someone said something.
Body.
Body, that's correct. And you're taking care a lot. Right? They're continually taking care of the body a lot, right? That's what we discussed in the previous session. Our focus is body. And here also the king was saying that he cared the fourth wife a lot. So fourth is body. What was the third one? Well, show off, right? Show off to the neighboring kingdom and all. And she said, I will marry someone. Because you cannot take money along with you, right? Nice. Second one, what is the second wife?
Family.
Family, yes. Right? So family, in the time of need, family, friends, right? Wife, they are the ones, or husband, whatever. They are the time, I mean, when things are not good, they are the ones who are helping us. But they can take you to the kingdom, right? Only till that time. Right? Know the first wife?
So.
Right? That was the discussion that we had last time. Right? We are completely ignoring the very self that we are. We are the spirit soul. Okay. So we discussed some of the proofs, right? We discussed about reincarnation case, out of body experience, near death experience, logic, and consciousness. Just wanted to quickly recap. So the point is, how can this knowledge help us, right? Whatever we discussed last time, how can it really help us? Two things are there that each and every one of us, in some way or the other, facing. One is superiority complex, another one is inferiority complex, right? But both of these things are related to the body. Superiority complex means I'm the great, and then we realize, we discussed in the last session, right? That actually we are a small, in fact small, and Krishna is infinite, right? So it's what about superiority complex? We are just a tiny, puny particle, person, jiva. And inferiority complex, we understand that this is a temporary body at the end. Right? So what about inferiority complex? And second is we can see Prahlad Maharaj. Right? This is a story of Prahlad Maharaj. How he was also so many came to kill him. It's a story from Srimad Bhagavatam, right? But he was not at all afraid of death, right? Because he understood that what they are killing will be only death, only the body, but not the soul within. It cannot be destroyed. So, okay. So this is another quiz. Quick one. What is the correct one? I am the body. I use the body.
I use the body.
Similarly, I am the mind or I use the mind. Today's session is mind. On the most dangerous word, right? You know, the total amount of suicide, or you can say people going through depression, stress, anxiety, suicide, all this put together is more than world wars, natural disasters, accidents in the road. So basically, Adi Bhautik and Adi Daivik, these are nothing in front of Adhyatmika. In current generation. Earlier, we used to have this Gita in nutshell, about 15-20 years back. This session was never taken only. That's why I was not including this session. But now this session has become so important in current life. Right? Earlier, people were simple. Things have become so complicated. So we'll be talking today on what is mind exactly. So many songs are there on mind. Mera man kyun tumhe chahe. Right? So we'll discuss all that. क्यों तुम्हें चाहे? That also we'll discuss. Why my mind is going behind the other person. We'll discuss that. Bhagavad Gita, we discuss this quickly. I'll just go through it. Bhumirapona vayu khammano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yamme inna pratishtaya. We discussed this, right? That how earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence and false ego, all these are material entities. And out of this, earth, water, fire, air, ether are gross. And mind, intelligence and false ego are subtle. Right? But we ran literally fast last time. So we'll be discussing more in detail this time. Right? But these are all material things. And soul, next verse Krishna says, Jiva Bhuta. The souls are actually spiritual. Right? So gross body, earth, water, fire, ether, Panch Mahabhut, these are material. Mind, intelligence, false ego, subtle body is also material. These two are the coverings. We have three coverings, right? Soul itself, subtle body, and then gross body. Right? So two. Now one can say I am mind. Right? One might say like that. But again, we can use the common sense. I'll not be going detail like how we did last time. We have the understanding now. We say my mind. My mind is taking me on a ride. Right? My mind. My monkey-like mind. So we understand that we are not this mind, we are something higher than that, right? And also, obviously, if we are the mind, then how can we are not able to control, right? If we are the mind, we are not able to control. That means that we are not the mind. It goes against us only a lot of times, correct? Drink it, don't worry, nothing will happen. Right? And next day, you are puking everywhere, right? So mind is not going along with us. That means that we are not the mind. So, we little bit touch base, but I'll go more in detail. The lowermost is the sense organs, eyes, nose, gross body. Above that is mind. Above the mind is intelligence, and above intelligence is false ego. We'll discuss each of them. And above the false ego is Atma. So Atma is getting covered by, see, Atma is spiritual, non-matter, and below this are all matter. Atma is covered by subtle body, false ego, intelligence and mind. Okay, what does mind do? Mind is the storehouse of all the desires. So basically, when you have sense organs, they receive everything, right? They see a diamond. Then they will see the diamond, they will say, I want the diamond. So that I wanting a diamond, I like the diamond, will be stored in the mind. And intelligence is the one which decides whether I should get that mind or not, diamond or not, by hook or crook. That's the duty of intelligence. So intelligence is the one which makes a decision whether this is right or not. And false ego is the one which creates a conception, artificial conception that I am this body. So the reason why we are thinking we are this body and not the spirit soul is because of the false ego. The ego, currently we use that ego is something that, negative connotation, but actually ego means what you are identifying yourself with. False ego means you are identifying yourself with falsely with the body. And that is why the soul he is making all the decisions because of that strong covering of that, it's called ahankar. Here he says, Bhumirapon alavayo khammano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yamme. Ahankar, that ahankar is actually false ego. Right? Ahankar. So that ahankar is the one because of which we think that we are this body. And intelligence is the one which is taking the data points that whether this is right or not for me. Okay, decision making. Data points is coming from intelligence. And obviously I'm using a little bit software engineering words just to make that connection. But and mind is obviously, it is a recipient of everything and it's a storehouse. H-base. Storehouse of all the desires. Everything is stored actually in the mind.
Data warehouse.
The data
So
warehouse.
if you take a false ego, then you can connect with Atma state of
Correct. So instead of false ego, there's something called true ego also. True ego basically means, or real ego, it basically means that you're identifying yourself as spirit soul. that is a self-realized person. Self-realized person. We'll discuss that more in the last session, culmination. Okay. I'll be going slow in this just because this is important, especially. So
how can we ignore our body? Like whatever will.
No, we don't have to ignore our body. Body is important because body is a machine. We'll see that at the end. We need the body. But instead of asking how to ignore the body, we should rather ask, the correct question should be how to use the body in a proper way and not misuse the body. But that we'll discuss at the end of the today's session. We'll put a little bit light on it, but at the end of the entire Gita in nutshell, we'll discuss that more in detail. But that's a good question. Yeah, obviously that is important. Once you understand that we are not this body, so how to use it correctly and ignore sort of and use it. And this verse which I said, right? Above the body is the mind, above the mind is the intelligence, above the intelligence is the false ego. That comes from Bhagavad Gita. I didn't make it. One fine day. It's not like that. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Indrani paranyahu, indrebhya paramana, manasastu parabuddhi, yo buddhi parasasvaha. Buddhi. Buddhi means intelligence. So, the working senses are superior to dull matter. Dull matter means, I see this table and said, I like this table. I want this table. So, dull matter. Above the dull matter is the senses. And senses receive all this and it stores in the mind. Okay. So, mind is higher than the senses. And then higher than senses, mind is the intelligence. And higher than the intelligence is the false ego and then obviously soul. And then Krishna explains, I not put, I think. Yeah, not put. Krishna says in the next verse that in order to control the lower self, who can control the lower self? The higher self. So intelligence has to control the mind has to control the senses, and senses has to understand, doesn't matter whether I should be attached to it or not. That's the hierarchy. Right? So we were discussing how mind takes us on a ride. You see a small example. This talks about stress. It's a commercial ad.
If you are serious about it, talk to your doctor.
Stress. Nowadays it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I was hearing in companies also sometimes you have to give this not seminar, sorry. You have to go through this learnings, depression, taking the importance of depression. They were saying that almost 1 out of 3 person goes to depression, somewhere or the other. It's a big thing. So we discussed that mind is a storehouse of thoughts, unfulfilled desires, previous experiences. There is a verse in scripture. It says, Markatesa surapana madhye vishradamshanam tan madhye bhuta sancharo yadadadva bhavishyati. Markatasya. You know what is markat? Monkey. Markatasya surapana. Imagine a monkey who has drank a lot of alcohol. Surapana. Madhye, after drinking a lot of alcohol, madhye vishika damshanam. Now the same monkey who has drank a lot of alcohol is now bitten by a scorpion. Okay, vishika damshanam. Tan madhye bhuta sancharo. In the same monkey now Ghosa also entered. Bhuta sancharo yadvatava bhavishyati. Now imagine what that monkey will do. And then the verse says that mind is like that monkey. Mind is also compared to an ocean. You go near the ocean and you feel that water tickling. You like it, right? You are coming near the water, it nicely touches the feet, right? You feel, hey, you also come. You say your friend also. Feels nice. You come little bit more, and then you realize a wave come and it takes you away. If you don't know to swim. Like similarly, the mind also. You give that one chance to it, think, and it will keep on. Then it will go to such a ride You're just gone. You're just completely. You'll see that how that mind can take us on a ride. Right. So basically, mind is the one which creates the negative and positive thoughts. Storehouse of all the thoughts we discussed this, right? There are two things. One we'll discuss next time. The reason we get another body is because of two D's. One is desire, another is what we deserve. So desire we create in this life, and based on the desires that we have created in this life, and the money that money we have in terms of karma and all, we'll discuss more in detail. Then based on what we deserve is the body that we get in the next life. So it is very important that what are we desiring? What are you desiring is very important. And that is the nature of the mind. Mind will make it like a practice. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. But the intelligence has to understand that what is good for this soul. Or we'll see how to strengthen the intelligence. But desire and what we deserve. What we desire and what we deserve. Right? That's why that's why it is important that what kind of books we read, what kind of movies we see, music, friends. Because based on that only, we are creating our desires. Imagine like a movie. It's like a big screen. So whatever you are putting on it, that's what you will take it. So senses will grab everything. That is the nature of senses. It will grab everything and store out in the mind. To store in the mind. So Gigo principle is good in, good out, garbage in, garbage out. It just depends on what we are taking in. Now we'll discuss what is the nature of the mind. There are four fundamentals that mind does. We'll discuss on the end. You will remember this. First is it magnifies the problem. Have you been in a case where it's a small thing, but you magnified it so much, and then you realize it's such a small thing. Huh? Yeah. Small thing, you make a big thing. I remember when I was in India, JP Morgan. I was working. I decided to come for my masters, and I immediately applied for it. I applied to 10 universities, and I don't know, many of you might be doing it. 3, and 1 is very ambitious. 3 is okay, 3 is average. 3 is ambitious, and 1 is very ambitious. So I did that. 10 application standard. But then I did not get even a single admit. Not even a single admit I got. And all my friends, close ones, company, some of my close colleagues, everyone knew that I'm going. I'm going. And then there's not a single admit. That has never happened to anyone. Whoever has spoken. I mean, somewhere they will get it. Somewhere they'll get it. I was so sad. University queue. Why this happened to me? And 7 days I did not leave the room. 7 days. And finally my mother called my friend who was in CMU. Said, talk to this guy. What has happened? Some girl or what? She didn't know what is going on. And then my friend said, don't worry man, apply next time, it's okay. And then again I applied in the spring semester. But the point is, sometimes we take it so seriously. A small thing. And then I got it. I got in University of Illinois. And that time also I did not get any other admit, only this one admit. And I sort of slowly realized that maybe Krishna, made some arrangement by which I will meet my wife. I mean, I met her there only. You never know what is Krishna's plan. And then I took up Krishna consciousness actually, because somehow this Krishna makes arrangement. So we sometimes magnify the problems, right? That is the nature of the mind. It magnifies the problem. Small thing will make it really big. Second is, it imagines pleasure. Right? The entire entertainment industry is made for this. Is made for this just to give you that imagination. First paragraph of the song will be in Switzerland. Second paragraph of the song will be in Thailand. Third paragraph of the song will be in Bangkok. Right? And you will be thinking, this is life. Right? Imagining pleasure. This is the nature of the mind. You have seen, right? Right? When you get your first salary, from this I'll save this much, then I'll invest this much. By 2 years I will have this much. By 4th year I'll have this much. Right? Nature of the mind is this, imagining pleasure.
Let me tell you a story. Sit down.
Story time!
my poultry farm, my palace. Huh?
Right? So basically, sometimes we imagine so much that we screw up badly. That is the nature of the mind. That is the nature of the mind. Like it imagines pleasure. So first we discuss this, it magnifies the problem. I'm just going a little fast, obviously. Magnifies the problem. Second is it imagines the pleasure. The reason I'm saying this is you can connect. When something is happening in your mind, you can actually connect. Oh, yeah, this is what is happening. Right? Third is it neglects responsibilities. Right? Overdose of drugs, overdose of alcohol. I mean, in general, alcohol only. Right? By what we think, mind says, oh, don't worry, be happy, live like king size. Right? That's what the mind says. Live like king size. Right? He zindagi milega dobara. But then we are neglecting the responsibility because for every action there is a reaction. But mind says, don't worry. You say, right? There is a Bollywood dialogue. हम ही बार जीते हैं. Right? That in all these movies, that is the reason, in imagining pleasure. One of the basic problem that we are facing is too much watching of entertainments. And mind is actually drilling because of that. In 2014, when I started reading Gita, first thing that I stopped is movies and cricket. Completely. And that is the reason why sometimes people say that how you are able to get some time. Because it takes time away. In 2013, after I completed masters, I got the job. 1 week last December, what to do? My flight was 2nd of Jan, so 6 days I was at home. I was watching 7 series. 24. Have you heard about 24 series?
Yeah.
Entire one series, which was like 20 hours. I used to watch in one day.
Wow.
I didn't sleep only for 6 days. That is what it does. But more, no problem. What is next? Now I don't remember anything of what I saw that. Good for me. But the point is, it's a completely waste of time. It will just make you imagine pressure, and then I also think that, oh, I will also, fight against this and what this and that. Right? But we forget what is our actual position. Second is this. Third is neglect responsibility. Completely forget that every action that we are taking, there will be a reaction to it. We will be discussing third more in detail, future sessions. But that overdose of drugs and all this happens because of the nature of the mind. It neglects responsibilities. And fourth is it denies reality. Denies reality. Right? You see these people, they are putting their head under the ground. Right? Because they are thinking that if danger is coming, what is the best way to avoid danger? Okay, inside the close your eyes. That denies reality. And that is the situation of ours also, right? We do the same thing. We are not realizing that actually after this also, after so many, when we keep reading whatever we do, we are still not realizing that the reality is we are this spirit soul. The mind will make us think that, oh, just enjoy. This is the body, just enjoy. So these are 4 things. Magnify the problems, imagine pleasure, neglect the responsibility, and denies reality. If you don't remember, you can just remember MIND. Okay? MIND. Magnifies the problems, imagines the pleasure, neglects responsibility, and denies the reality. Okay. So this is the nature of the mind. These 4 things mind does. Okay. So next is, what is the difference between gross body and subtle body? Okay. Gross body is what? Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Subtle body is also material. Okay. Subtle body is what? Mind, is positive. Okay. We'll quickly do the difference between the two. And there is a verse in BG 22.22, it's connected to the difference between. So it vigors at that. So when you take the new body, the gross body will go away, but subtle body will go with you. And that is why you see, let's say a family where the husband is a drunkard, father is a drunkard, he will have 2 children. One child will become a drunkard, another will become a completely saintly person. Both having seeing the same thing will have opposite effect. One will think, I should become like him, and the other will think, I will never become like him. That's because both have separate desires stored, separate intelligence stored when they move from one body to another. Because the gross body will leave, but subtle body will remain. Mind, intelligence, and false ego. That is where the desire is still there. Desire is still there. 2.22 says, Vasam Sijirnani Yatha Vihaya. This BG is Bhagavad Gita. Vanavani Nigrinati Naro Parani Yatha Sharirani Vihaya Jirnani Anyani Samyati Vani Dehi. As a person puts on new garments, giving up the old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. So body goes away. A subtle body remains. It goes to the next life. And that's why gross body is one lifetime. Gross body is one lifetime, but subtle body is multiple lifetimes. Till we'll see, fully realize the self, it is mentioned. Right? So subtle body will go away once you reach liberation. Obviously, liberation has various characteristics, various types. We have heard liberation as Sanskrit word is what?
Moksha.
Moksha. Right? In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is described there are 5 types of moksha. Shashti, Samipya, Salokya, Sarupya, Salokya. And we will not go in detail. But just a tidbit. There is not just one kind of moksha. There is 5 kinds of moksha. Anyways, but there is something higher than even moksha. The point is, when one realizes self, and then there is another part that we will discuss later on. If it's quick one, we can discuss. Tell me.
So are you saying that the mind and intelligence from one body is going to the other body as it is?
Not body.
Okay.
Soul is covered by subtle body. Subtle body is covered by gross body. So when the soul is moving from one body to another body, the gross body is withering away, but the subtle body is still going along with the soul to the next body. But subtle body is still material. It is not spiritual, it is material. It is part of this body. This material world only. But when one is self-realized completely, we discuss that how. Then one completely takes the soul, then even the subtle body withers away. So, did that answer your question?
So, but what is the point? Like, let's say, if, like the subtle body is only useful as a human, right? The other living beings are able to think and.
No, I never said we cannot. Consciousness, the function of consciousness, thinking, feeling, willing. But the consciousness, awareness is not that at the level when you compare with animals and human beings. But thinking, when they can do. They're thinking, right? From where will I get the food? Ahara. How can you do ahara? You have to think, where is my next prey? Where is grass? Where I can eat? So thinking, everyone is doing the thinking. All conscious beings, the function of the conscious being is to think, feel and will. They will do that. But the awareness, the consciousness, asking higher purpose of life, that I think is not. So, right? Because we are in Bay Area, we thought we'll have an example related to software, hardware and user. So, there's a verse about what it explains is that verse. It's from 18th chapter. It explains that how this body is a machine, and you are basically riding that machine, right? So you can think of it like if you think of laptop, you can think of the laptop itself as a hardware. There is a gross body, but you cannot interact with the hardware directly. For that, what you need is a software, right? Windows or Mac OS, whatever it is. So that software is mind, intelligence, and false ego, and you as a person is the Atma, right? And it says that the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, Paramatma, as Paramatma, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine. Right? Jiva is also seated on a machine. Machine is a body made of material energy. So gross body will just quickly, gross body changes at death, subtle body does not change at death. It goes to the next one. Okay. And we discussed this, right? But we don't remember our past lives. Why we don't remember our past lives? Because we are not attached to the body. There are 2 reasons. Either we are very, very sinful or we are not so much attached. See, who will remember? See, if let's say, yes, you go out and you just make a complete round of this place and you come back, I ask you, did you meet that guy whom did you meet? You'll say, yeah, I met some person but I don't remember. Right? You will not remember him. Why? Because you are not attached to him. But if I ask you, do you remember your father's name? You first will look at me and say, are you mad or what? Obviously I remember. Correct? Why? Because he's attached. That familiar relationship is there. Wife or husband, kids. The relationship is there. Because you're attached, you remember. Either you're attached because you love him or her, or you're attached because you hate him or her. Right? Right? The person who has really destroyed your wealth or something, you'll keep remembering. That was the guy. That was the guy. Right? So you're still attached in some way. Correct? And then obviously that's why you're remembering. That remembrance is coming from Krishna. Obviously not for everyone. Actually we are happy that you're not able to remember it. It will be a nightmare. Imagine, there was a movie, right? Mere Dodo Baap, Mere Dodo Baap. Remember? Guys, no, don't remember. Good. Basically that movie, that child used to say, I have two fathers. So anyway, these are all pre-2014 movies. After that I stopped. I realized it's a waste of time. So this is a very good, we'll be now going through 3 verses of Bhagavad Gita. It explains, basically we read everything, whatever it's all we understood, but just from Bhagavad Gita itself what Krishna has to say, right? Mamaivamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha mana shashtani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. All living entities are my part and parcel. Qualitatively they are one with me. Right? We discussed the example of ocean. You take a drop of ocean, the qualities of ocean and the qualities of ocean, qualities of ocean and the drop of ocean will be same. But quantity wise, we cannot say that drop of ocean is the ocean, right? So Krishna is saying, qualitatively they are one with me, but quantitatively they are different. We are small. He is Paramatma. Right? So this from 15.7. And then this talks about how the enjoyment that you are doing, that is creating desires. Shariram yadavapnoti yachapyutmatishvara vritvaitani samyati vayu gandhani vashyat. The living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another as the air carries aroma. Right? Mind is carrying all that. Thus he takes one kind of body and again quits it to another. Okay? Now this is one of the most important verses, 15.8. I'll skip the verse. The living entity, thus taking another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, tongue, nose, sense of touch, which are grouped about the mind. He thus enjoys a particular sense of taste. So, which kind of ear? Basically, it says there are many kind of living entities. Which living entity will take depends on what we are doing in this life, or the desires that we are developing in this life. Right? If you see, we are not attached to a stool, but pig is attached to a stool. Right? Whenever pig sees a stool, it gets very excited. So based on our desires, we get the particular kind of body to enjoy the desire. 15.8 Krishna. So basically, I am trying to say that whatever I am saying is coming from Bhagavad Gita. So we'll skip this. We'll discuss all this. So this is just a side note. We might be thinking Krishna is saying that I am the source of that material. So someone will be thinking, oh, Krishna is boasting. Once I was doing a book distribution and one guy, I was giving him Bhagavad Gita. Shankar actually came through. We met him in Christmas in the Park, one of the events, and also sincere, he's helping various ways. So once I was doing book distribution, I was giving Bhagavad Gita, and one guy came and he said, but why is Krishna so much boasting? He said this, he asked me this. And then I told him that if let's say someone is asking you, a rich man is there, and someone is asking you, so where do you live? And he says, Acyuta. This guy is boasting. See, he's talking about what time you get up? 5 o'clock. See, he's boasting. He gets up early and he's showing off. No, he's asking the question, so he's answering. Arjuna is actually asking all these questions, and Krishna is just answering. So it's not really boasting. Right? So the question might come, we discuss all this, are there evil atmas? Right? Are there evil atmas? Question might come. Actually not. Ramachandra, there is a very famous pastime. Lord Ramachandra was, he killed in Ramayana, we had Diwali, so I just thought I'll discuss this. Lord Ramachandra killed Ravana, and then Vibhishan was called and he was said that you please do the last right because everyone was destroyed in Lanka. And Vishnu said he was such a cruel person, we should not do his last rites. And then Lord Ramachandra said that he is a spirit soul at the end. And spirit soul by nature is pure. So if we take it that way, we should do his last rites. So Atma is not evil, but the covering that we have by mind, intelligence and false ego, that's what make it evil. So Atma by nature is what we discussed last time. Is what living entity by nature is? S. It starts, Who said that? Oh, very nice. You are attending for the first time, but very nice. Bliss. We discussed two more things. Bliss is Ananda. Satchidananda. Correct. Thank you. Ananda. You should have remembered, man. Satchidananda. Spirit by nature is Satchidananda. Right? So it's pure. It's spiritual. Right?
So what was the conclusion of the previous slide? I didn't get that.
So there are no evil Atmas. Atma is pure. It depends on the covering of what kind of covering the Atma has. By mind, intelligence and false ego. So mind is the storehouse. Intelligence is the one which is making decisions. And false ego is the conception which is giving us that we are this body. So the more strong that false ego is, the more it becomes difficult to be detached to this material world. And obviously because of that we go more and more deeper in what we are doing. Right? So contaminations lie in the subtle body because gross body is anyways withering away, correct? So contaminations lie in the subtle body in the terms of mind, intelligence and false ego. We'll see how we can get over it, or basically try our best. So there's another question whether there are ghosts or not, right? So ghosts are also there, but what happens is those are the people who don't have the gross body. One of the reasons is again because of strong attachment and suicide rates. One of the reasons why someone becomes a ghost is because of if he has committed suicide, untimely death, suicide, then they might become a ghost. Again, don't want to scare you, but just a side note. Sometimes people ask this question because we're talking about mind, intelligence, false ego, subtle body. And there are a lot of examples, a lot of stories are there, not fictitious, but real ones, where sometimes ghost does interact. Okay, we'll skip this. So this is an important example. We discussed it last time also, right? There are 5 senses, right? The reins is the mind. And intelligence is the one which is supposed to control the mind. And mind then take care of the horses going in the right direction. But the intelligence, if the intelligence is very weak, then what will happen is intelligence will run here and there. And then the soul behind, you will be in scary situation. Then anxiety, depression, stress, all that will come if the intelligence is not able to control the dreams. Okay. This will discuss. So you had asked this, right? So it's the same thing. Basically, intelligence and mind, they have to be in control, and that's what our problem is. We're not able to control our mind. So when I forgot to answer. मेरा मन क्यों तुम्हें चाहे, intelligence is that, buddhi. That is a decision maker. Got it? Because they didn't answer that in the song. So,
Oh my God! So the way you said it was like, like I had to really look at the lyrics.
right?
How it was
So basically, by the mind is running behind someone, decision is made by the intelligence whether to run or not. Intelligence makes the decision. Obviously, Atma is the one finally who makes the decision, but the inputs come from the intelligence. Whether I should do this or not.
This intelligence comes from our past lives, or is it?
Mind, intelligence, false ego, all 3 come from the past life. They all come from basically the word that past life, instead of that I would say it continues with the soul. It continues with the soul. So it need not be past life, it can be past life. It can be past life. It just depends.
So you can't go. I mean, like you carry the same mind.
No, we'll be discussing. We have to hone our dreams. We have to have a correct charioteer, right? Who can control the reins. Right? We need to have that kind of work. And we see that, right? We see so many self-realized souls in general also, right? They are detached. I mean, they would have advanced. They would have raised some consciousness, right? They would have raised some consciousness. You see that some would be at higher level, some would be a little lower level in terms of consciousness, some would be really degraded, right? As soon as they see drug, they will get excited. And some people will be see the drug will not be excited at all. A higher consciousness, little advanced consciousness. Right? So we'll discuss these two things, spiritual knowledge and spiritual practice. Both go hand to hand. Nice spiritual knowledge leads to nice spiritual practice. Nice spiritual practice leads to nice spiritual knowledge. We'll discuss this how in the next slide. Right? And this helps us to actually get out of the cycle of birth and death. Anyways, we'll discuss this more in last session of Gita in nutshell. So now the question comes, you might be thinking, when, right, that if we do spiritual, but if we don't attain perfection, right? So here Krishna is saying, Neya Vikrama Nashosti Pratyavayana Vidyate Swakampresa Dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bhaya. He says that in this endeavor there is no loss of diminution. Whatever spiritual practice, spiritual knowledge you are gaining, right? There is no loss. It's not like you have become Jeff Bezos in this life. Next life you will continue with that $30 billion in your account. As soon as you come out of the womb, the mother is saying you still have that 30 billion beta with you from a past life. No. That will not happen for material things. But for spiritual, Krishna is saying, a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of thing. Basically, it will carry forward to the next life. Because subtle. Spiritual is more subtler. So it remains with us in the next life also. But then the question comes, it will remain, but it's like a situation like na ghar ka na ghat ka. I didn't enjoy the material life. And spiritual life also, I was trying and this should not be the case, no. Right? Arjuna is asking the same question. It's very nice, See, sometimes happens, right? Doctor is there and one news report is asking the question and doctor is answering. And we cannot think that news report is actually asking because he is going through that problem. Today he is asking, tell me something about cancer. So we think, oh, this news reporter has a cancer. Next day he is asking, tell me something about lung disease. So you're thinking, oh, he has a lung disease also. No, he's asking for our behalf. Similarly, Arjuna also will see, he's asking all these questions actually on our behalf also. So Arjuna is asking that, Krishna, what if I screw up? I'm trying my best, but I'm not able to achieve perfection. What happens? We will see this. So, you understand, right? We started with very basic from the first session. Now we are involving a lot in Bhagavad Gita now. This entire mind, is coming from 6th chapter. Entire mind is coming from 6th chapter. We'll see. This is the conclusion of the 6th chapter. But here very carefully. Come here if you want.
Who is bewildered from the path of transcendence, fall away from both spiritual and material success, and perish like a riven cloud with no position in any sphere? This is my doubt, O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely. But for you, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt.
So Arjuna is asking, you please tell me what happens in this situation. Material world also I did not enjoy. Spiritual world I tried but did not complete properly. So you please answer me, right? I don't have anyone else to answer this.
Three personality of Godhead said, Son of Pritha, a transcendentalist can get...
What can I do?
You can just enable the captions.
Oh, is it? Okay.
The next, right next to the...
See, needs software engineers.
Engaged in auspicious
Wait, but you're not able to see, no?
activities.
Are you able to see?
Distraction.
Can we increase it? Is that possible? Google people are there, no? You should give this feedback. No, I know some people are there from... Huh?
Maybe if you make it full screen, it might.
Oh, is it? Okay, let's do that.
On taking such a birth, he...
Right, so what I'm saying is, let's say this guy, he's trying, but very fickle. Both he wants, material also, spiritual also, little bit. Right? So, he will be born in a family, could be rich aristocracy, or in a pious family, so that it will be easier for him to take his spiritual life ahead. Or, let's say he has been really practicing very nicely, but due to some reason still couldn't complete his journey. We will understand in the future session what it means to complete your journey and all that. Then what happens? Then Krishna is saying he will be born in a family of transcendentalists, where it will be very easy for him to take up Krishna consciousness or basically take up spirituality. Very easy. See, for some people, no, taking up spirituality or practice is very easy. For some people, it's like, banging your head on the wall. It takes them a lifetime or many lifetimes. That's why, because everyone has a different level of consciousness. I mean, obviously he's very advanced Vaishnava, but the point is, some people it is very easy, but some people then banging their head on the wall. They'll take their good sweet time, but still in the next life they'll get a human body, or at least a place where it is easier for them to practice. So that's what Krishna is saying. I'm just, because volume is not good.
He revives the divine consciousness of all yogis, the one with great faith.
This is the conclusion of the 6th chapter, this verse. So yogi we think of, right? No, that is not yogi. He's saying, be the best of the yogis. Yogina upi sarvesham mad gatinantaratmana. Shraddhavan bhajate mamam swame uktatamamata. He's saying, Yogina upi sarvesham. There are many kinds of yogis, but become uktatama, become the best of the yogis. The translation will say. But
Who always abides in me is the highest of all. That is.
Anyways, we'll discuss this also more in detail. But the point is, it's not like gone. That whatever you have gained your spiritual account, by practicing spirituality, it's gone. We carry forward in the next life. Again, mind, intelligence, false ego, and Atma itself. Okay, we'll go to the next one. So, if he's flickering one, then it will be pious or little good family in terms of, but if he's really very serious, then will be in the family of transcendentalists. Right? Like Srila Prabhupada, obviously the Nitya Siddha, he came to deliver many souls. But he was born in a family where from childhood only, the entire family was attracted to Krishna consciousness. And for him it was not difficult. He was just that you're getting a base. Right? Imagine like one person, right? You spoke about the father, drunkard, complete, right? But one person took it in a different way, and the other person just, so it depends. Krishna facilitates things for in a different way, especially in the family of transcendentalists.
Almighty.
Okay. So now the question: 4 ways to overcome the disturbance of mind. Right? That is the point now. So these 4 ways that we are going to discuss, we are going to discuss at a very over at 30,000 feet, 40,000 feet high. We will be discussing more in detail in the future sessions. Okay? Because please understand, this session was not supposed to be covered. But I knew that after this entire thing, people will be scared. So I thought I will also give the solution part. But you can revise quickly. Actually, the mind takes like this only. Keeps on seeing these different things.
You'll be sharing this presentation also with us? Or?
I can share. Maybe at the end of all the sessions I can share. So 4 ways to overcome disturbance in the mind. Right? First is mantra meditation. Manatrayate iti mantra. The nature of the mantra is to deliver the mind. That is why it is known as mantra. And that's why temple is known as, in Sanskrit is known as mandir. It's not tandir. It not focuses on the body but it focuses on the mind and intelligence and the Atma. Mandir. Manatrayate iti mantra. And there are a lot of meditation. This is also one of the meditation. But highest of the meditation is mantra meditation. Kale dosha nidhe rajan asti eka mahanuna kirtanat eva krishnasya mukta sangha param praje. In this Kali Yuga, Kale dosha nidhe rajan means, oh Rajan, king. Right? So Kale dosha means faults. See, Sanskrit faults. Kale dosha nidhe rajan. Kale means Kali Yuga. So in this Kali Yuga there are many faults. Kale dosha nidhe rajan asti eka mahan guna. Guna means virtue, quality. Mahan means one. Eka mahan guna. So there is one great quality. Kirtana eva krishnasya. Chanting of the holy names of Lord Krishna. Mukta sangha param vijit. Mukta. One gets liberated from all the vices, from all the problems of life. So mukta sangha param vijit. So mantra meditation. Mantra meditation basically how it helps is it makes us understand that we are a small, minute entity and someone who is greater than us. So mantra meditation, sadhana, we can remember it as sadhana, right? Mantra meditation, that is first way.
Which mantra?
Yeah, there are many mantras. Work hard, party harder. As I discussed last time, there is one mantra. But the Kali Santana Upanishad, there are many Upanishads. One of that is Kali Santana Upanishad. It says that the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the Maha Mantra, the topmost mantra. Brahmanda Purana is another Puran which also mentions about this Maha Mantra. So we'll discuss how this Maha Mantra also came into being. In the sense that how it was passed in disorderly succession in the last session. But yes, to quickly answer, it's the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And what it does is it raises your consciousness. So you're talking about problems, right? See, imagine you are standing in front of, which is the tallest building? Empire State Building. Let's say take Empire State Building. A lot of different, depends on which location. So Empire State Building. If you are standing on the ground floor, you will see the Empire State Building is very, very tall. My God, you can't even see the tip. Top of it. But if you are in the flight, you will see the same building as tiny matchbox. What changed? The view changed, right? Similarly, the mantra meditation actually takes your consciousness from a lower level to a higher level. You start seeing things with a very different perspective. And that's why the problem that looks magnifies the problem, you start giving right perspective to that problem. That is the nature of, that's what mantra meditation. Obviously, there are a lot of more things. I'm just giving in a nutshell. We'll discuss more in detail. So Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. These are the beats. If we get time, we'll just chant a little bit. I think we'll not have, but let's see. So mantra meditation. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Identity, soul. Another thing is we have to understand. We have to keep ourselves reminding ourselves that we are this. We are not the body. We are the spirit soul. We are the spirit soul. We have to keep reminding ourselves we are not this body. We are the spirit soul. Identity. What is our identity? Right. Second is that. Third is negate temptations. If I see drug or I see alcohol, right? Neglect responsibilities. No. You understand that this is not good for me. This is not good for me. How that comes is by knowledge. And knowledge comes from Swadhyaya and Shravanam. SS is there. No? Swadhyaya and Shravanam. Swadhyaya means reading. Scripture like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. Reading. And Shravanam. You see, Srila Prabhupada is giving a class. Shravanam is hearing what you are doing. Shravanam. Swadhyaya and Shravanam. By that we get knowledge. And by that it helps us. And that's how for me. It's not like I'm also trying. But just by hearing that, what this entire movies, cricket, they do actually, they just waste our time. They literally waste our time. Can anyone say that cricket actually helped me? Yes, to waste your time.
I watched it.
Obviously we all have that different inclinations. But my father used to say, because I used to watch all the time zones. Australia match, West Indies match, India match, all the time zones. I was so dedicated, devoted to this cricket. My father and mother used to say, 25 paisa bhi nahi dega idhar ko. 25 cents also this guy will not give you. And obviously, their way of explaining was very different. When I read Bhagavad Gita, I understood. Actually, they are not giving me anything. And I am giving my life to them. I used to watch West Indies match. That was night match. Morning, 4 o'clock. Right? It's a time to meditate. I used to watch Australia versus India. Right? At where? I forgot the place also. Adelaide. One of the places. So, anyways, but negate the temptations. We see the thing and we understand this is not good for me. That comes through intelligence. How will the intelligence become strong? Through knowledge. Swadhyaya and Shravanam. We should take out some time to read some scripture. We should take out some time to hear something which will help us to grow. Obviously, if anyone wants some materials for hearing or reading, obviously we can talk offline. And fourth is Sadhu Sangha. If you are a drunkard, you will be a drunkard. Right? It is a famous saying. The first peg is always free. The first glass of wine or first glass of beer or first glass of whatever, tequila, whatever you might have heard, it's always free from my side. And after that, from your side only. Then you are only paying. But first time it's like, some friend will say, from my side. Today from my side, have it. right? But when you are with devotees, right sadhu sangha, when you have right sadhu sangha, then you will not be tempted, because you're not around the people who are going for the temptations. So you'll also not be tempted. Right? So first is mantra meditation, sadhana or sankirtan, sadhana. Second is soul. Third is negative temptation, swadhyaya and shravana. And D is devotee, sadhu sangha. Again, the solution is mind.
What is about like the soul?
Soul is basically identity. You have to understand who you are. You have to keep reminding yourself who you are. Identity. What is my identity? What is my identity? Mantra meditation. I is identity. Third is negative temptation. Fourth is devotee, sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha, sarva shastra ko hai. All the shastras talk about this one thing. If you really want to grow your consciousness, have right people with you, mentors. It's very, very important. Have the right mentors. This is a quick video. Just move to the next one. So basically the point is, actually it takes a lot of our time, right? We're trying to know all the breaking news that is happening around the world. After 2 weeks, none of that is, and you will come to know anyways. Like COVID, I came to know colleagues anyways, obviously it was such a big deal after some time, right? You will come to know anyways. Just try, obviously. We all have our own inclinations. I also have my own inclinations. And sometimes, but we can try our best. Okay, we will do 4-minute mantra meditation. You can quickly share the beats, and by the time, you can. So, prove one, I can also take. You can quickly pass. So, we'll just, it's a small one. We usually have 108 beats. This is half of it, no, 1/4 of it. And as a regular practice, we do 16 times of 108 every day in the morning, 5 to 7. Some Ramesh comes home, we sit here together in the morning, he stays very nearby. And there's another couple.
16 times 108.
Yeah, that takes around 2 hours, but after constant practice, it takes around 1 hour 40 minutes every day in the morning. And that is your sadhana, it's your morning sadhana. And then, yeah, we'll discuss all this more in detail. We are doing 164th right now. And we're doing chorus. Usually it is, everyone is with their own speed, we're doing chorus. And Hare is basically Srimati Radharani. We'll again discuss this more in detail. The feminine energy of the Lord. Another name of Radharani is Hara. From that word comes Hare. And Rama is pleasure potency. We'll discuss that also more in detail in the last session. Krishna means all attractive. We see, we discussed, right? We are all attracted to something. Right? Human being male will be attracted to human being female, but a mosquito will never say a human being male. This guy is looking handsome today, right? Mosquito will be attracted to mosquito, opposite gender. But all attractive means Krishna, the name, it means that be it animal, be it any living entity, will be attracted to that name, Krishna. It means all attractive. So what we can now, when the only thing that you have to do is hear the sound vibration, that's it. Just hear the sound vibration to the best of capacity. Obviously, the mind will go here and then, that's the nature of the mind. Right? We discussed how it runs. We can just try our best and try to just hear. We don't have to do much. And we'll see there are different levels of what all we can do. But we'll just hear. Okay, we'll do in chorus.